All right, we're in the Newark Airport, and by the end of this video, we're going to be in Lima, Peru. And so during this video, we're just going to talk about the safety precautions, or when you're in South America, you know, what do you got to be careful about? And then we'll talk about, respecting other people's cultures and what Grava is doing in South America and what we're trying to do. So stay tuned for more as I tell the story. All right, we're off to Peru, Lima, Peru. Okay, I don't know how good the sound's going to be on this flight because it's really loud, but you know, when you're flying to any kind of country, you know, and if you want to be safe, you really kind of got to do a couple of things. Is you have to do what I call a reconnaissance, which is, you know, looking it up online, checking the maps, checking the travel advisories, things like that, just to see, you know, how safe is the country, you know, does the U.S. Embassy have any warnings on it, you know, where are you going to be actually located, is there any reviews, or if anybody talked about it, and then actually really using social media to kind of see, you know, what's going on in the areas that you're in. You can just use hashtags for those locations and stuff, but you know, the reconnaissance begins, or the safety begins with the reconnaissance of your area that you're going to be in. And that's the most important thing, and it gets you really comfortable. The second most important thing is try to learn the language, you know, of the country you're going to. It really does help if you can speak a little bit of the language in that country, and helps increase at least your safety level. Number three is just, you know, not expecting it to be like the United States. You know, when you're an adventurer and you're out traveling, things aren't always safe. They're not like the United States. It's not super dangerous. Like in my experience, going to other countries isn't any more dangerous than being in LA or Philadelphia or New York City. It's just being smart about your surroundings. You know, you don't want to be walking around with your cell phone. You don't want to be putting a bunch of money in your back pocket that can be easily pickpocketed and things like that. Oh wow, look at this view, you gotta check it out. And then it's also, safety also comes, especially if you're a guy, comes with being confident in who you are and being in somewhat of physical shape. You know, you want to be physically fit and not look like a victim. And looking like a victim is somebody who kind of walks around with their cell phone in public areas. That's something you don't want to do. You have to just remain, you know, just stay aware of your surroundings when you're in these areas. And that's about it, really. Like, I never really worry too much about any of the places I go to, because honestly, like 99% of the people out there are not, they want to be your friends, or they want to talk to you. They're not trying to hurt you or anything like that. So 99.9% of the people in the world, or whatever you want to classify it as, in my experience, are helpful, nice people that are not trying to do you harm. It's just those 0.01%, the wolves out there walking, that you got to watch out for. So just be aware of your surroundings. You know, you're not walking around with your face in your phone. You're not flashing money. You're not flashing, you know, expensive jewelry when you're out and about. And that's how you're safe. So let me see if it quiets out here as we get further into our flight. 7.5 hours to Peru from Newark Airport. And yeah, I might need to take a nap before we get there. It's a long flight. All right, so what is Grava doing in South America, you may ask? Well, let me tell you a bit of a story as I walk down towards the beach to show everybody this amazing view here in Lima, Peru. The climate really reminds me a lot of like Southern California. It's a really temperate, mild climate on the coast with cooler waters. And so you have this like marine layer that kind of sets in, but the waves and the surfing looks amazing. All right, getting closer to the coastline here. Wow, this is a great view up here. Let me show everybody. Look at that. Look at that surfing. You can do amazing surfing right here. Let me get a shot for everybody. And they got surf schools, and you can do some surf instruction down here if you wanted to. Look at that. Tomorrow we're going to be riding our bikes down here on the coastline. As I head up to get a better view, walking up these stairs. So what I was saying, so there's all these companies, like when I was in Colombia, it's like Specialized, Giant, you know, Trek. Everybody like in Colombia is riding these, not all of them, but there's American bikes from North America, United States, US brand names, but they're all manufactured in China and then resold down in South America. Oh, big stairs. I'm gonna take my time up these stairs. And I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense. And then the other thing was, it's like, we had this problem with the logistics during the lockdown, you know? Like 95% of our bicycles are made, you know, in Asia. It's like Taiwan, China, Vietnam. And I was like, okay, so this is a problem. And it's also strange, as I've done more research, a lot of your raw materials, you know, come from Peru. Peru ships raw materials for steel making to China. So South America, Central America, North America, they all have everything they need to produce the tubing, to do the work. The labor is actually cheaper here in South America than it is in China, believe it or not. I don't think anybody's realized that. Oh, sorry if I'm getting winded here, but a lot of steps to climb up. Taking a look at the graffiti. The graffiti artists in Latin America put the artists in the United States to shame. They're so talented here. So what is Grava trying to do? Well, it's really, Grava's just a couple of people with limited resources going around and trying to develop partnerships for cycling. So that's bicycles, bicycle bags, and clothing. That's kind of what this trip is about, is to show everybody out there what we're doing at Grava. And we're doing it with limited funds and limited manpower, but we're doing it. It doesn't take a lot. It just takes a lot of will and determination and getting out of your comfort zone. Okay, let me pause. I get to the top here. Okay, we made it to the top. Let me see if I can find a way to get over by the lookout, which is that way. I think I'll have to illegally cross the street. Play a little Frogger. Man, I love so many bicycles around here. There's so many people, like cycling paths. Like, even though this is the third world country, like, there's more for support for cyclists around here in a third world country than it is in the United States, I swear. Because the USA is kind of like really vehicle centric. It's all about your vehicle and getting bigger and bigger vehicles. So let me pause as I try to get across. And so that's kind of all we're trying to do at Grava, is just diversify the cycling market a bit. You know, I feel like there's just nobody here doing it in the Americas, North, Central, or South America. It's really trying to unify a product line or a manufacturer. Like, I mean, I know it's difficult to manufacture here. I've been doing it, so I know exactly how difficult it is, but we're giving it a shot. And maybe down the road, we'll be making our own steel tubing in the Americas and doing things that you don't see anybody else doing. Nobody else has really, I feel like, tried to unify an outdoor cycling product line for the Americas, in the Americas. All right, I'm gonna go down here to the lookout.
So I have our Grava backpack that I've taken with me to South America. I've taken this everywhere I've gone. What's unique about the Grava backpack is it's all using materials made in Colombia. A lot of this material, like this canvas material on the outside, is from Cali, Colombia. So maybe the only thing coming from China on this backpack is the buckles. Like most everything else is actually made in South America. And it's not easy to do. We're doing something that's very difficult. But again, I have strong faith and conviction in this idea. There's a lot of people excited about this idea. And I also believe that cycling needs to be diversified. It's been too streamlined. You have too many companies sharing factories, singular factories, making singular products. And I think especially the Latin American culture can really diversify cycling in a way that I think is going to have a positive impact all over the world, not just in Latin America or the United States. So that's really what I'm doing here, is I'm just taking an idea and finding a couple people who believe in me, and then just trying to create something that hasn't been created before by going around, traveling and talking to people and getting something going and getting this idea moving and pushing along poco de poco, as they say here. So that's Grava. I have a meeting with Marino. I have some other meetings. I'm going to Colombia next. I won't be publishing this video till I'm out of the country. It's just part of my safety thing, right? I don't want to show everybody where I'm at exactly when I'm there. I'll try to, delay these video releases as we go along, but man, we got some adventures coming up. So don't forget, like, subscribe, follow along for more. This is Aaron from GoGrava.com, and help support the company and our ideas by buying a shirt. We have things on sale right now with the Go Fall 20 clearance. All hoodies and our hats are 20% off, and we slash prices on our t-shirts to move inventory anywhere from 30 to 50% on those items. So talk to you later until our next adventure.